Hi everyone, Dave here again with another video in my series Navigating Life on the Spectrum. If you haven't seen some of my previous videos, I'm an autistic man who's been making these videos in a series called Navigating Life on the Spectrum, where I share my experiences navigating life with autism. If you have seen some of my previous videos, welcome back and thank you again for your continuing support. Today, I'll be answering a question that I've received anonymously through the Navigating Life on the Spectrum Facebook page. The question is, my 9-year-old son who is autistic has been aggressive and sometimes violent towards us, towards his siblings, towards his peers and towards his teachers. What advice do you have? Yeah, that's a tricky one. And firstly, I'd like to say I'm sorry to hear that. It doesn't surprise me though, because that can be an issue. I think firstly what we need to do is actually strip it back and try and understand from your son's perspective. Most of the time when he's doing this, he's most likely feeling threatened, and that's a response there. The aggression there is usually a form of defense. So what we would have to look at is maybe what are some of his triggers that are causing him to feel threatened or to feel sensory overload. Other things that we can look at is how do we deal with him when he's under these circumstances? And I think that's a great place to start. My suggestion would be that you have a strategy for when he does escalate like that to de-escalate as quickly as possible. One of the best things that you can do there is whenever his level of aggression gets higher, yours gets lower. You lower your voice, you respond calmly, and try and create a safe space. Basically say something along the lines of, I'm not angry, you're not in trouble, I just want to know what's wrong. Take your time and take as long as you need, I just want to know what's wrong. And try and find a quiet space for them to cool off and to just calm down. Another strategy as well, when they're starting to escalate, try and get them to count 10 deep breaths, something like that, because it may, through the breathing, help them to calm down. What I would be recommending as well would be coming up with a plan along with his teachers, along with the other support people in your group, occupational therapist, child psychologist, and the like, if you've engaged the services of these people. If you haven't, I would strongly recommend that you speak to your GP and speak to the NDIS about getting a plan in place. Yes, because unfortunately there are big emotions, and one thing that doesn't come naturally to people on the spectrum is actually being able to process their emotions and to understand them. So with that emotional literacy, if we can develop that with him, he might be able to identify when he is starting to feel threatened, anxious, stressed, and basically putting a plan in place or having just a strategy for him as to how he can manage that when he does start to feel that way. It is a very difficult situation, but the best thing that you can do whenever you see something like that is create a safe space. Don't respond with aggression, that will escalate the situation. Try and form trust as well. And if they are getting violent, it's really important that you reinforce that violence is not acceptable. And one thing that I would say as well, I don't know how you're disciplining your child, but if there is physical punishment being used, it needs to stop, because that's often where this sort of behaviour starts. I'd also be really disappointed to hear if something like that was happening in this day and age. Hopefully that gives you some sort of an idea as to how you can mitigate the situation. It is a work in progress, so you will have to start with small steps. And as you start with small steps, you'll be able to move forward. The work that you do now, whilst it will be hard, it will get easier later on. But yeah, key takeouts, never respond with aggression, create the safe space, Reinforce to your son, he's not in trouble, you're not angry, you just want to help him. Yeah, it's an unfortunate one, but not uncommon by any means. Hopefully that gives you some help there. Yeah, please let me know if there is anything that you would like me to talk about, as I really do appreciate being asked the questions. And as I say in all my videos, which I'm sure everyone's sick of, no matter who you are or what your connection to the autism spectrum is, you are not alone on your journey. Advocates like myself and many other people out there are here to help you. We're here to support you and here to be a resource to you by sharing our stories of our journeys. Please feel free to ask questions, share your thoughts, or share your story in the comment section below. And if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe.